Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Smith from Greenbackers here. We are specialists in climate, clean tech, circular economy and growth capital. I'm here because I have invested in previous iterations of my business life, particularly in the marine energy sector, in wave energy and tidal energy projects. I've looked at more projects than I've invested in, as is always the case, so I have some expertise in that specific area. Let me just see if I can advance this. Yeah. So we are four guys with about 130 years of board-level deal experience. That's what you get if you come to us. We have a small EIS tax fund that we invest in the UK, and as well as that, we help businesses throughout Europe and in US, and indeed as far afield as Taiwan, who are trying to connect with investors and raise funds. And we will sit with you during that process, sit alongside you in deal. Typically, we tend to find, whether we're investing or whether we're helping attract other investors, that companies are simply not ready, even those that think they are. And this is not exclusive to small companies. It applies just as much to larger businesses. They tend to plan the things they're comfortable with, their operations, their technology development. They tend to plan these things very well. They scenario it all, but when they want to raise some money, they seem to have a meeting around the coffee machine one day and decide to go out to the markets and raise the money the next day, and it just doesn't work very well at all. There's various tools that we use when we're helping businesses, and I thought I would just talk about one of them in particular. Because we travel a lot, and there's a slide in a couple of minutes just indicating that we do that to find businesses and to find investors that are interesting for us. We decided to run our own pitching event, and there's many pitching events, of course. A lot of them are not good. A lot of them don't have the right mix of investors and companies. So we run our own. We invite companies to apply. About 50 applied last time in November, and 10 got through. And of those, there are a few closing deals now in the hundreds of thousands of sterling range, and some are in material discussion. So it's quite a good deal event. I would encourage you to go and have a look at it. We have a lot of information on, because of the interactions we have in the market, on technologies that fit within our descriptor of areas of interest, but we also look for technologies in these sorts of areas. So if you have something that's in there that's of interest, please seek me out and engage later on today. These are areas that we see. This is just our view. It's not a world view. It's a view based on all of our interactions in the marketplace with investors and with companies and at events. These are areas, all of them are of interest to us going forward. In terms of where we go and what we do, we think some of the funds, particularly those, I regret to say, in London, not all of them, but some of them are still sitting in their offices waiting for deals to walk through the door. And we think you've got to be much closer to the marketplace than that. So we travel a lot. We're just finished with Change Now in Paris, which was an amazing event. Obviously here today, Subsea Expo next week up in Aberdeen, and you can find us at all of these events. The largest, of course, being the COP that's coming to Glasgow. Hopefully you'll be able to access these slides after the event, but these are things that I would share. We were asked to share some tips. These are some tips that I would share with you, particularly the last one, never ask for money. Come and speak to me about that. I know it seems bizarre, but we would certainly recommend that. And we were asked to indicate our ask of you, and our ask of you is to engage with us. Thank you very much.